And welcome to round 6 here at Silverstone in the UK. A couple of cars already out. Sorry for a little bit of a delay there. Initially didn't want to start the stream, not sure why. Perhaps a bit of connection issues. A couple of guys, it's been one of those weeks with PlayStation Network and so forth. But anyway, we live, we managed to get on, so off we go. Q1 is underway. Going to get some details here, as always. Of course, you will see there Gav Peak has retired. That is due to a quali ban that he picked up last week. Stewards decided he will serve a quali ban thanks to the incident that he had in Russia last week. So the rule is he needs to retire without posting any laps. And he's done just that, so he will still be able to race. He just need to wait through qualifying. Of course, he can't participate in quali, that's all it is. Thank you, Ronnie, and thank you, Robbie. Yes, Ronnie, hy is bietjie laat. For a change, Ronnie is on the ball. He even beat Steph to it. Of course, he knows the question, want to know what the weather is like, and he just confirmed it's going to be a dry race right through. So it's not just qualifying, but actually also the race as well. Of course, making a welcome return as well, not Maverick there, as you can see. He's got a nice pink car. He's substituting, he's standing in for Rob tonight, so he's representing BPP tonight. BPP. Of course, I won't say what that means, they know. Of course, Devon, one of the other reserves. Okay, so we're just missing Pete B-Man tonight. Both his teammates are there, just start him. And making his debut tonight at TNB is Chen. Guy who actually recently got F1, and I mean as recent as in the last couple of days, and he's here tonight. Of course, no stranger to the TNB boys. They race with him over at Thursday Night Racing, because that you can catch on the midweek racing stream on that channel. So not a stranger at all, maybe just the first time in this game, but definitely not a stranger amongst these guys. So welcome, Chin. Of course, just doing a quick shout out there to Armand and Seipala, welcome. So yeah, Armand, dit is nogal lekker. It's just, you know what, it's not for everybody, but yeah, this is what keeps us entertained, and it keeps us out of mischief on a Friday night. We have Quinton so far in a 127.9, closely followed by Not Maverick with 128.1, Nismax 128.8, and then we start breaking into the 130s. Not bad from Chen, 131 in his first lap. Oh, there we go, nicely done. There's a bit in the corner, but he now also just runs off track to make sure that he's not in anybody's way. Very cautious. But that's what you do for the fast guys. Oh, and as he gets out of the way, someone else actually made contact. But not Sebastian and Devon. Devon actually caused not Sebastian to drive into him, but looks like it's only him getting the penalty. Hello Fred, ek glo hulle sal. So I understand Armand and Seipala are vivid supporters, so thank you for the support, gents. Always nice to actually see that this doesn't just fall on deaf ears, so it makes it all worthwhile. And also doing this alone, it's always nice if you guys participate. With that said, just a reminder for those of you watching, feel free to post your comments there. Be part of a chat, that's actually what keeps us going, because it can get, I don't want to say boring, but it can be a bit lonely if you just run alone. Not like in other leagues where I actually have a privilege of having a fellow commentator with me. course, Robert will support Quinton, that's his teammate. Okay, Robbie, just watch for BPP comments, ne? If it's too many, you're going to get yourself and your team points deductions rather than bonus points. 80, 77 also now in the outlap. Not Fernando still in the pits. No time as yet. Not Sebastian obviously back in the pits. Because meantime in front the other not boy did put in a 128.7, currently third. Of course this is only Q1. This is just to get that lap in. Of course after Q1 15 drivers will progress. There's only one that's going to be eliminated, and if you look at it, there's Gavpik, he already retired, so in essence all the rest of the guys will go through. It's just to, you know, enjoy, put a lap on the feel for track, and that's it. Q2 and Q3 of course is where it really starts mattering. Of course Q2, the tires that you post your lap time on, your best lap time, that's what you're going to start the race with. So Q3 then obviously is going to go all out for that pole, and it's worth it to go for pole because that's extra 6 bonus points, and that extra 6 points can make a big difference, especially with championship standings as it is. Top 5 pretty much in it, couple of points splitting the guys, and even now the constructors is a bit closer because the last 2 races Not Sober managed to close the gap a bit to BPP, so BPP really would like to have some good points tonight and open up that gap again. Fred, dankie vir daai comments. Dis die tipe feedback wat 'n mens waardeer en dis wat 'n mens sal aanhou dit laat doen. Not Fernando now out as well as his teammate. Of course, easy with this team. You just look for the free Not. Of course, not Maverick. You can just discard him for now. Yeah, he was actually a reserve driver for them in the first race. So he's one of the reserves this season, of course. But the other 3 Nots, very part of the team, of course, Not Sober. I think a lot of you can relate to that name. Especially the guys who like to gooi lekker before a race. So they're definitely not racing while being sober. But of course, some guys actually race better on the jet fuel than without it. Heidi just approaching Devon. Devon going a bit fast, but not particularly that fast. Staffy gets out of the way. Devon stays on the inside, so he's not on hot lap. Here comes 80 now. A few more corners to go. Takes enough curb here, all good. Final chicane. Car swooping right-hander, start finish line, and 80 goes 6 for now, a 129.0. Of course that is more than enough, he's done it, he will be in Q2. Just over 8 minutes to go. Of course now just getting out of the way. Make sure the faster cars come past. Staffy diving into the pits, of course. Knowing Staffy, he will retire, he's done enough. And knowing that he don't need to push hard, as Gavpik is already out, no need to. So that's him done, he will retire. Well, you can actually expect more guys to also retire, unless they're a bit crazy or a bit greedy to go and try to improve lap times at this stage. Carter boy going a bit slow. There we go. Called it. Staffy retiring. Moo, oink oink. Piggy dog. Or big dog cow. Whatever you want to be tonight. Nice lap. Couple of guys in the 128 and then in 129. Only Quinton's a fun 127. But of course nobody's going to really try to beat that. Not at this stage. But I expect those lap times to even improve a bit more as we go into Q2 and Q3 especially. Nah, Rob, you don't need to woof. It's the cow peak dog tonight. Like the cow peak dog moon oink, it doesn't go woof. It's Boucher, of course. Him and AD there for villains. Missing Pete B-Man tonight. Not sure about Devon and Chen who they're representing. We did see the judge join after qualifying started, so if he's still there, he will be able to race, just obviously from the back. That makes it 2 Flocka Racing boys at the back. Ja, Stef, het was my nie eerder oor so iets praat nie. Sal dit so, vis is nie my favorite dier nie. Not Fernando, 129.4 back in the pits. Couple of guys sitting in the pits, so I expect a couple of more retirements coming up. Not Sebastian coming in now. 128.2 current race, championship leader. So he would like to finish ahead of a couple of drivers just to make sure he stays ahead in the fight for the championship. Of course, second is his teammate there, Mr. Not Kimi. Of course, if you look at the championship standings as it is, there's currently 7 points between Not Sebastian and Kimi. Of course, Not Sebastian is the first, and of course Not Kimi second. And then actually just 3 points behind Not Kimi is Nismax in third place. He's actually tied with Boinkies. And then in fifth place there's Gaff Peak on 103, and then Quinton actually in sixth place with 101 points. RZDV missing out tonight is actually only 3 points off, but he's going to miss a few races due to personal circumstances. So that might just take him out of the championship. So the top 6 is pretty much in there, so just going to take 1 or 2 good races for Quinton when he's right up there. And of course Not Sebastian is not clear from his teammate, nor Nismax and Boinky, so yeah, so it's going to be an interesting one. And there's a couple of midfield battles as well, where it's very close. And of course, if you look at constructors at the moment, it's 39 points between BPP and Not Sober Racing. And of course, in third place is Oceans Free. They just not that much, but 47 points behind Not Sober. So they're also pretty much still there. And then we got Vlakkefontein on 208 points in fourth place. So that's how things stand in the championship at the moment. So all to race for, of course. Not Maverick out again, but at the moment the invalidated lap. This took a bit too much corner somewhere. Of course, if you just put too much wheel on that curb as you hit the apex, then your lap time can go up to, yeah. But of course it is also for the settings that we have, it is strict corner cutting. It's to prevent some guys to take too much corner and gain some advantage. Just something Codemasters can also work on, because in some cases it's a bit too strict. So the guys don't cut that much, but they still get penalized. So yeah, some work in motion hopefully from Codemasters. Well, Ropai is not just for knots. I see a couple of guys still cement bagging. We're only going to see the real times in Q2 maybe, but definitely Q3 when they go all out for that pull. I can promise you any one of them can actually do that extra 6 points. Nespax, of course, Mr. BPP himself. As you just heard a few minutes ago, currently tied in third place with Boinkies, of course. Boinkies also in the other pink car, but he's in the pits. Ocean's Free Boinkie. His teammates Springbok Gamer and Staffy. Funny, his two teams decided to go on pink this season. Of course, multiplayer cars. That's what's fun about it. You choose your own livery. and instead of a usual 2 teammates per team, with the multiplayer cars we decided to have 3 drivers per team. And of course also bonus points on the night if all 3 drivers actually pitch for the race. Bonus points for the pole position, as I mentioned earlier, and there's also 2 bonus points up for grabs for the fastest lap. And Rob, you called it, there is one not sober that actually decided to go be Vinty out there and actually pushed it, and he beat Quentin's time by a full 2 tenths, 127.7. Second guy to break into the 127s. A bit early, but showing Quentin not to get too comfy. They're still there. Of course, it's interesting, the big battle is pretty much at the moment not sober and BPP. It's just 30 seconds left, so no real action at this stage. It's just to bring the car back to the pits, retire, or wait for the time to come to run out. All these pit sitters there, of course, they will all retire now. There's anyway not enough time to make it around to start our lap, and as I said earlier, it's not worth trying in any way. Why risk the car now? Because we're all through to the next session. Right, that's the official time done. Just that extra 3 minutes just for everybody to round up. Oh no, AD left the session. Never nice to see. Let's just hope it's just a quick dip in connection and not power that went off, otherwise his whole race night is gone. Happened before where ESCOM or wherever in the area had other plans and a person's race is gone. Of course, one nice thing about Codemasters, as much as we criticize Codemasters, one good thing we can give to them is the fact that if you do disconnect, you can actually come back and reclaim your car and continue. Just the thing is, you need to make sure that you're in the lobby a few seconds before Q3 ends as we go over to the race, because if you're not in the lobby by then, it does not actually register you for the race and you can't join. Of course, nice thing also in the race, if you disconnect, you can also come back and reclaim your vehicle. So like other car games like your project cars, if you disconnect, that's it, your race is gone. So yeah, a couple of things I think that can actually benefit us gamers with Codemasters and of course what's a slightly mad studios now under the same roof. Right, just confirmation now we ended there, as you can see. Final 15th place there was Chin. Not really too worried about positions here. This was just to make it through to the next session, and of course we can see Devon Alice with that 5th place penalty with that collision with not Sebastian early. Of course early in the session shortly after start. So yeah, so those 15 are through. Just waiting for Q2 to come on. Right, just need to restart this quickly. There we go, and you can hear a couple of engines already starting up, and you can actually see here on the far right of the screen, cars actually readying up. Pink car, we don't be surprised it's Staffy, because Staffy like going out early. Sure why the race engineers keep him in that long. No, it's not, it's actually BPP. Looks like not Maverick also going out there. He's stinking from the others. Bit of a different strategy here, as you can see. Both of them deciding, okay, actually there's Staffy as well, so 3 different to the rest. Of course that is the longer strategy. All good and well, you can run much longer before you have to stop the first time. Problem with that, if you have early contact and you need to come in for a wing replacement, that strategy completely gone. So you also need to bank on other guys not running into you. You keep it clean, no damage, so that you actually make the strategy to obviously pay off. And I see Poinky's also decided to go for the strategy. Nothing wrong with that. I see more and more guys do this. One thing about those mediums, they do last a lot longer than the softs. Silverstone is a bit of an abrasive track, so the harder tyre is a better option. Of course, provided the strategy works out by not having contact, etc, etc. One thing also what's nice about the mediums, it goes off, but a few laps later it actually comes back to you, and you can actually post some competitive laps on that. Of course, we saw in the first race of the season where in Belgium, not Sebastian doing the fastest lap on the very last lap of the race on a set of mediums, which he actually did a good couple of laps on. Yellow flag, but of course that's just the car slowing down for a faster car, and of course also just to make sure that there's a bit of a gap. You'll see those guys coming around about to start hot laps. They just want to have enough distance between them and the car in front. Last thing you want is to be on a fast lap and when the car in front of you is too close and you're actually faster, and then they actually affect your lap. Right, Springboard Game also on his way out as well. Chen out on the outlap, not Sebastian. Just want to see who's in front of him. I just want to pick up our first car. There we go. That is not Maverick. Leading the pack in the sense that he was the first car on track. And then it looks like not Sebastian is the second one. Yep. Oh, validated lap here from Carter Boy. Okay, and then Boinkies is actually the guy there behind those two. Driving on board here with not Maverick. Just through Beckett's and Beckett. Well, Beckett and Beckett. Come around, final chicane coming up. Hook it up nicely, fast it to the right. Always a bit tricky here, but fast one direction and fast the other direction. A 1 and 28.3 for now. The Poinkies of course is on the medium, so let's just see what he comes up with. Not Sebastian actually does go faster, 127.6. Already faster than what his teammate did in the previous section. Poinkies was actually on the outlap, it's not a fast lap. And Quinton now actually splitting those two on the medium, so 128.3. And as I say that, not Kimi responsible 128.0. Currently we got two not sober boys in front. Not Sebastian, as I said, that time is already faster than what Quinton and his teammate not Kimi did in the previous session. I did say we can expect the lap times to improve already. We didn't expect the very first lap done by somebody is already going to be up there, so yeah, those times will definitely come down. You can see a couple of these guys also going below the 128s. Let's see if they can keep it on track though. Of course, just coming out of the way for a faster car. He done his lap, he just want to make sure that he doesn't affect someone else and cause them to not have a good lap. Safwan Quinton, of course, will be happy with that. It's just to make sure he gets through to the next session. You would not want to take too much out of those tires because you want to have those extra laps, of course, for the race. If you all the extra array laps you do now, you just cause the tire not to be with you that long in the race. And I see Mr. RZDV says that there's possible rain in 10 minutes, so we might possibly see a wet Q3. But then again, it's not unusual here at Silverstone. Good old British weather. We all know that. Thanks for the update there, RZDV. It does look a bit more gloomy. Definitely not as sunny as it was when we started Q1. And not Kimi coming into the pits now as well. His teammates already in there. If they've done enough to go through to the next session, definitely will. Not think so, I know so. That's plenty, so no need for either of them actually to go out again. None of the top four really. But I think even those 129s will be safe. Of course, from this session, the top 10 will go through for the pole shootout, and AD has managed to rejoin. But I think that he's qualifying gone. I only see 14 cars, so AD was actually eliminated with that disconnect shortly before the end of Q1, which, what a shame, unfortunately out of his control. It's not that he did a bad lap, he did actually qualify for Q2, just that the disconnect came at the worst possible time. If it was at the start of the session, he still would have been in there and he would have been able to rejoin and do laps. So only 4 cars went to be eliminated. And as I say, that actually now it does register AD. We're back to 15. So let's hope he actually managed to reclaim his vehicle so he can go do a lap or two. Just under 8 minutes to go, and I see Gafbeek has left the session. Gafbeek better make a plan because he only got Q3 and the remainder of this to rejoin, otherwise he won't be in the race. Of course, in his case it can actually be a power failure. It is a bit common on his side. Let's hope he does have backup, because he does have a generator now and then. But I just hope he didn't get bored and now he just throw it all away, because we're getting closer and closer to a race. Not Fernando out there on the out lap. You can see invalidated lap, but it doesn't really count, because the out lap doesn't count. It's just to get out there, maybe warm up a few tires, and that's actually when you're sometimes invalidated. It's just pushing a little bit hard to warm everything up. Of course, as long as you don't overdo it, and then it invalidates the next lap as well. Of course, and it doesn't look like that's the case, so he's all good. He's on his way. Starts his hot lap. Devin is out there as well. Currently in the drop zone is Chen. Carter Boy is on the limit there for either going through or not. I think AD did manage to get his car back. He's out on track. I'm going to say those 129s are definitely, well, as I say, definitely safe. One more spot, one more 129, and that's pretty much it all occupied. So at the moment, Carter Boy now and Chen both in the drop zone. With Springbok Gamer right on the verge. Not bad times there from Quinton and even Staffy on the mediums. If you look at what Staffy did in the first session on soft, so that's not far off. Currently invalidated lap, but it looks like he's just crawling back to the pits. Did a few extra laps on those mediums, so you don't want to go too much further on them. Want to save him for the race. Now boys, he did manage, there's AD, he's definitely back on track, don't worry, he did manage to get his car back. Technically speaking, he wasn't disqualified, or he wasn't eliminated at the end, so he definitely made it through to this, so it's only fair that he managed to get his car back. Starting his hot lap now. Not Maverick, no retire, of course those guys know way through to the next session. Those 128s, 127s definitely, they are all safe. The low 129s will also be safe, it's just that high 129 that it's a bit early to call. But early, and yet there's only just a little over 4.5 minutes to go. Oh, an 80 with invalidated lap. Best is just to back off, save the fuel, save the tires, and then of course just give it another good old thumping on the next lap. Because one thing also, it's better to go out early, you don't have that pressure to it, you must have a lap that counts, because here towards the end time running out, all more pressure to put in a valid lap, and that's when actually the errors do come in. Now we've got Devin, Chen, Carter Boy, and not Fernando in the drop zone. AD of course as well, but he's still to set a lap. Not Fernando with a purple sector there. Let's see what he can do approaching the final sector, the final chicane, I apologize. Fast sweep to the right, start finish line then coming up, and he managed to improve. He goes 7th, and that actually goes Springbok Gaming into the drop zone. So Staff with that 129.7 is actually now the man on the border. Will that be enough? That is the $1,000,000 question. Carter Boy is out there, Chen is out there, Devon is out there, AD is out there. I believe EH Boucher will be safe. Oh, bit of a moment there for AD back in wanting to step out. Nesmax now also said enough is enough, bring on the next session. So Staffy, whatever will happen, Staffy said he's not going to waste his tyres. Worst that can happen is he will start in 11th probably. Springbok Gamer, his teammate is on the way out. So the two teammates there, 10th and 11th, one in the drop zone, the other is out, so can the teammate take it away? Let's wait and see. They are now approaching Meckett and Beckett. Meckett and Beckett, or whichever way you want to pronounce it. Guys, I apologize if I pronounce it wrong, but it's not one of my favorite tracks personally. But I do try to remember some of the corners. Oh, and Devon comes back into the pits, so I believe that will be it. 1 minute 50, he's not going to have enough time to turn it around and go out and have another lap. Not Kimi now also done. Let's see, here comes Devon now over the line. Then he's going to have to park the car, be wheeled in. That also takes up valuable seconds. Look at the lap, he did a 130. Nope, he's not going to have enough time to come around again. So that is Devon. He will be eliminated. And AD actually displaced Staffy. So both Staffy and Springbok Gamer, the two teammates, are in the drop zone. AD managed to put Staffy out. He's in 10th place, 129.5. Wow, now look at these two teammates. As much as I say those two teammates they are in the drop zone, look at these two teammates. 1,000 of a second. That's what the difference is. 129.567 for Boucher and a 129.568 for AD. 1,000. You can't ask for any closer than that. $40 seconds to go. You can see all top 6 retired. They know they're safe. These guys sitting in the pits can also retire because there's not enough time for them to go out and do another lap. AD is on his way back. So it's pretty much Springbok Gamer and Chin, the only two guys left. Oh, and Springbok Gamer actually puts it into the wall. He tried hard, just tried very hard, pushed, and then in the wall. He knew anyway if he's going to crash out, he's not going to make it. If he doesn't push hard, he's not going to make it either way. So that just confirms both him and Staffy then out if they're not going to go to Q3. So Devon Alice is done. AD, like I said, is on his way to the pit, so it's only Chen. Chen also not going extremely fast, so I believe that top 10 is it. It's confirmed. Not bad from Chen, like I said, it's his first time in F1. As you can see, that little block next to his name, of course, showing the level you're on, etc. as you play online. It's only a 1, so the guy that only really recently started playing F1 is here, and he made it through to Q2 already. So that's already an achievement. And the more he's going to play, the better he will get at it, and of course that's when the extra speed also comes. Of course, V and Gafpick has joined. Just waiting for Chen and AD then to retire. Then this session will be done and dusted. Here we go, off to Q3. Couple of good laps here, yeah, definitely a good one there by Muna Robs. 4-stopper Steph, it might be fast. Oh, and Rob called it, and we have rain. Of course, you want to get out here quick as possible, see if you can salvage something, because the wetter the track is, the slower it's going to get. You can hear these guys firing up. Looks like we're still on dry tires. No, but Steph also looked good. It's just unfortunate a couple of guys responded and took him out. Otherwise, he also would have had a good time on the mediums. But yeah, Quentin did put in a good time on the mediums. But you're only saying that because that's your teammate. You see a train. You can see a train of cars coming out. Everybody want to get out there before it gets too wet. Because if you wait a little bit longer, you might have to come onto the Inters rather sooner than later. Yeah, Steph, how glad are you now that you don't need to do a Q3? Oh, and that actually looks like a mirror on the track, so it's relatively wet. But the latest trend with this game is when it starts raining, the track doesn't really get wet. It keeps falling like this, and it keeps falling like this for some time. You don't even feel the need for Inters. You can do on dry tires, but that's not realistic. Where's the days where you actually would go out in this wave on dries and you might actually have a case where you will spin. And now 80 also on his way out, so that means everybody is on track. Just over 10 minutes to go. A good 2, maybe 3 laps for those guys who can be quick enough. Of course, you want to post a time, get back, put on new boots, and off you go again. So well done to Not Sober and BPP. Both teams have all 3 drivers in the top 10. Of course, all in Q3. Because not Kimi, not Sebastian, not Fernando there for Not Sober. And then Quentin, Nismax and Not Maverick, of course, for BPP. Not Maverick substituting for RZDV. Not Kimi already with a purple sector, of course, still early days. But maybe we're lucky this rain might not dampen it completely and that we can actually see these guys run on dry for the majority, if not the entire session. We do have a car with 1 EH Boucher. Validated lap, not sure if he got caught out by a wet patch or perhaps some other reason. Ja, Rob, Mr. Ek is 11-1-11, whatever. Definitely looks a bit damp, especially from that shot coming down there. You can see the lines from the tires and on the wet. We got Foster's moment fastest, but not Sebastian go faster, 132.3. Not Maverick, 132.4. Not Kimi, a 131.8. So these Not Sober boys are feeling racy. I think Not Kimi lost the back end there. I saw a glimpse of that car, looks like it's going sideways. Did recover, now I just want to keep out of the way of the other cars, yeah. Don't want to affect them, another one coming up, he's just going to allow them all to get past. Of course, if it's going to get damned now very quick, then that is pretty much our pole lap. As you can see, there's already a big difference in times. Not Kimi earlier 127, sorry, and now only doing a 131. 4 seconds of his previous best lap in the earlier sessions. So track is definitely damped. and actually looks like he's getting more damp. So you might actually see him changing to inters before the session is over. So again, just confirmation as to why I say it's a good thing to go out early, so that you can still enjoy a dry or less damp track. Because if you can go out there that time, that's going to be your fastest time, because as the track gets wetter, the times are going to actually get worse. Ooh, big moment again, not gimme. So I think this is starting to get to inters time. Looks like these cars are not happy on those softs now. Dry tire definitely not the best option anymore. Not Maverick coming into the pits. So I said, not Sebastian actually decided to do another lap. So he's still confident. Not Sebastian actually having a moment there. Yep. I think this is inters, because another car win he actually was confident to stay out, but he didn't pay off. Mismax also back in. Quinton is still out there. Oh, an invalidated lap. Not the best of laps first time round. Now he's got an invalidated lap, and the longer he takes, obviously the less of a lesser damn track he's got. So it's just getting more difficult for him. ID in the pits. Oh yeah, and we see there already a set of inters going on. Of course, if it's inter time, then definitely that top 3 is confirmed. Actually, I would say also top 4, because inters is not going to improve those times. Just over 5, well, just under 5.5 to go. Not Sebastian probably will make his way back to the pitch. Yeah, he's not going at full pace. So I think those softs actually served its purpose. Unless there's one more roll of the dice left in here, if someone can get the car just hooked up and just get into the right places, into those corners. Of course, last week was a real topsy-turvy type of race. Let's hope it's not the same tonight. Oh, DRS is able. There we go. Race confirmation. Inters is the way to go. So those times really pretty much. We might even say 5th and 6th might be actually best. And I see there's actually soft tires now on that car, just as DRS got disabled. So I'm not sure how far we're going to get with that lap. Not Maverick also out on a set of softs. Okay, I said no DRS now, so that also takes away your speed, because DRS obviously reducing that drag in those designated zones. With DRS now not enabled, it's actually going to slow you down somewhat. And with the conditions as it is, that's it. So I don't see any changes. So just a formality, get the whole session finished. So which means then it's going to be a not sober front row lockout. But of course, let's just wait for the session to finish and then we can confirm. Oh, 80 battling definitely those soft tires. He's gonna. Ooh, no, this is disqualification. No. For a moment I thought he's gonna go. Ooh. For a moment I thought he's gonna try to get back into pits from there. And of course, driving in that direction is classified as wrong direction, and that can lead to a disqualification. He's gonna have to go around once more, and he's already battling to keep the car under control in these conditions. Okay, and he knew it was pretty much over, so he retired. Another retirement, the guys in front also, not Sebastian also. They know there's not more that they can do. Quinton also retired, so yeah, that pretty much confirms it. Nobody out there on a hot lap. So if everybody can retire, then the session will be over. Not Fernando's going to have a go on the inters. Ooh, and even on the inters it's a bit of a challenging one. Ooh, yo, big time. Of course, these guys also will have a setup for dry, because the prediction is a dry race. Last thing you want is to have a wet setup, and when it's a full dry race, that's going to slow you down tremendously. But also one thing about this game, the weather forecast is not always that accurate. Predicts no rain, and then later there is rain, and vice versa. But of course, first mention is more often. You expect no rain, and then there is rain. So for once, the rain actually wettens the track properly, and you have to change tyres. It's been a while since I saw that. We already had more than one race this season where it was raining like this, but the track didn't really wetten. And in that same type of conditions, the not so sober boys in front did actually first and a third place respectively. Then not Fernando might just come back into the pits. These guys also not enough time to guide again, so that is that. Session's over. No, not Fernando's going to give it a go, another go. Just at least want to get over the start finish line and put on a lap, because that can actually take him into 9th. If he posts a lap and AD retired without posting a lap, AD and him will swap places. Oh, and again, as you can see, that is just, it's not just going his way. Even with the Inters, the track is challenging, to say the least. Now the car's not moving, unless that is it. Oh, disqualified from session, parked in a dangerous location, so that is it. Just waiting for the 3 pit sitters, not Kimmy, Boinkies and Iboucher to retire. And there we go. And that is that. Just to confirm, there's your top 10. I leave a top 8 posted at a time. Of course, for pole sitter, not Kimmy. With his teammate, not Sebastian. There's your front row lockout for not sober. Followed by not Maverick, standing in tonight for BPP. Followed by his teammate for the night, Nismax. And we got Foster in 5th, Boinky 6th. The other BPP guy in 7th, Quinton. EH Boucher 8th, his teammate 89th. And the last not sober Boykie there in 10th place, not Fernando. So that completes the formalities of qualifying, so on with the race. So well done by not Kimi, just went out at the right time, put it to the max and just made the best of it, and actually it paid off. I think the not boys will be happy. They can get a good start, not like last week in Russia. It should be a good one. And it looks like we got a bit of clear weather, not as sunny, but at least it's not raining, it's dry. Just waiting for everybody to finalize their race strategies. There we go, somebody did, so that's when the counter starts. Of course, once everybody ready up or the counter runs out, we will be going. Of course, just for you guys who didn't follow the entire season, these team names they came up with, the guys obviously in a team, they all chose their own teammates, they came up with their own name, and of course together they designed their liveries. There we go, and that's it, so time to get this formation lap underway. Not sober boys, followed by the 2 BPP, pink boys, red versus pink. Looks like everybody got clean away for the formation. Funny how it's actually they lined up a lot of teammates with teammates tonight. Inter-team battles as much as team versus team. Gav picked it, managed to stay in, Devon Nalisve, and we got the judge. So the Flakker boys are also full for tonight. So bonus points for Flaka, BPP, Oceans Free, and Not Sober for having all 3 drivers on the grid. Of course, once we figure out where Devon and Chen fits in, and then maybe there might also be some bonus points elsewhere. But that's the logistics for after the race. Now we're just going to worry about the racing. So far so good, nobody made contact or standing back on the grid. Everybody still continue with a formation lap. Even good old Staffy is behaving on his formation lap. We're with him with his teammate, and then of course Carboy, the only green car there because his teammates pretty much deserted him. One of his teammates left the season a few races in. The other one is not a regular, unfortunately. So he's still flying with the lonely flag for the green team, VSK Racing. Coming around final corner, front runners will be lining up. Waiting for the cars at the back. There we go, front runners. Waiting for the last couple of cars to line up. Right, everybody in place, green flag. Watch for the lights. 4, 5, and we are racing. Oh, the judge disqualified from the session, reversing of the start line. Oh wow, that's not a good start. That's not what you want to see right at the start. Oh, not Sebastian losing a couple of places there. Behind Nismax and not Maverick. Meantime, his teammate in front got away. But there is a virtual safety car. 5-second penalty for H. Boucher. They say he bumped into the judge, but the judge was already disqualified at the start, so a bit weird. Not Sebastian would like to get back at these two in front. Got so into the whole disqualification right on the start. Didn't really see the move here. What happened? Why he actually lost 2 places. His teammate is still where he started. Just need to be careful of his boys in pink, especially not Maverick. Because not Maverick and not Kimi having actually years of battles with each other. So they know each other, they know each other's racing style, they know what to expect from the other one. So it's going to be tough for the one to overtake the other. It can also be tough for the one to keep the other one at bay. So yeah, interesting times. Nismax now trying to put not Maverick under pressure. All of a sudden you got all 4 cars there literally within less than half a second from each other. Nismax having to defend. Not Sebastian having a look. Oh, not Kimi runs wide. Surely this will allow not Maverick. And not Maverick is going to take the inside, and he's actually going to come out first. Oh, not Kimi runs wide. That actually allows both Nismax and his teammate through, and not Sebastian actually having a look on Nismax. Nismax will have the inside. Not Sebastian on the outside. Again, Nismax with a better line. Yep, and the 2 pinkies are now in front. Not Kimi and not Sebastian have to fight back. Meantime, Boyki's on those mediums up into 5th place. Behind him, Quinton in 6th on the also on a set of mediums. We got Carboy 45 on hard, so he didn't have a good start, so he had to put early ins for hard tyres. A bit of a gap now between these guys in front. Bit of a breather, but still early days. Still another 50 laps to go after this, so no need to rush. Now not keep me under pressure from Boinkies and Quinton. Things not going his way tonight. In some ways his teammate will be happy, in others not. Oh, and a spin there. Looks like he got a bit bumpy there with the two pinkies, of course, Winkies and Quinton. One on the inside, one on the outside. Bit of contact there, and I actually sent him spinning, and as a result, Force ran into him. DRS now enabled. Oh, yellow flag, ignorance there for Gaffbeek, 5-second penalty. Did manage to get himself back into 9th place also after starting way down. Oh, and that's not Kimi, and Devon. Not Kimi and Devon coming together, so that's not Kimi's race gone. And now Devon with another penalty for collision. He got one in qualifying, 5-place grid penalty, and now there's another collision. But not the best of nights for not Kimi, and finally his streak comes to an end. 3 race wins on the trot, and then tonight no finish. Of course, one last week in Russia, one there in Mexico, and also the race before. So good. Actually, a man that also retired the first race of the season and then fought back. Couple of wins in a row, and that actually got him into 2nd place. But tonight, of course, will put him back a bit, because now no points. Of course, he will still have a bonus points for the pole, and the 3 bonus points as all 3 cars were on the grid. But with regards to some points for the race itself, unfortunately not. Of course, just a reminder that all the drivers up to 15th place score points. All the drivers outside the top 15 gets 1 point. But of course nobody outside the top 15, because both those guys have retired. So PH Boucher, we're currently in 15th. So as it is now, everybody do get points just for finishing this race. Nesmac still under pressure there from not Sebastian, but meantime not Maverick gets away, so I won't be surprised if this is a bit of a team strategy. And Devon now with another time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Not Sebastian was thinking of going inside, but just too far back. Of course, always difficult to try to do that dive bomb. Always run the risk of wing damage. Of course, Nismax would want to keep not Sebastian behind him. Of course, while his teammate in front pulls away, it's good for the team. But also it's good for Nismax, because if he can finish ahead of not Sebastian, it brings him closer in the overall championship standings. But now Nismax actually closed the gap a bit to not Maverick. Not Sebastian had DRS, but it didn't make much of a difference. Of course, as it is now, Nismax will also have DRS on not Maverick, so he will zero out the DRS on not Sebastian, and in the process both can actually gain on not Maverick, and not Sebastian actually fastest lap, 133.8, so he's definitely on the move. And I can assure you he's not going to hold back. Oh wow, and Gaffbeek actually goes fast as a 133.6 on those mediums. Gaffbeek already up to 7th. Fernando also got some good places. He's in 6th place. AD now with a time penalty as well. Primo Gamer right on the back of him. He's going to have a look on the inside. DRS of course wide open, and he's going to do it. Primo Gamer definitely pulling it off. Of course, AD is now going to try to put him under pressure, just while Primo Gamer's teammate is right behind him. Of course, Staffy in 10th place. A bit of a gap between him and 11th place. So guys here from 11th down already had to make an early stop, as you can see on the amount of laps done, on the set of tyres we're on currently. Staffy now with DRS. He's past 80. Nesmax fastest lap of 1:33.4. Not Sebastian pushing him, and he gets over so closer to not Maverick. And Gaffey just to cancel out fastest lap of 1:33.4. Gaffey running in 6th place, coming back at it. He did mention earlier that some of his best races are fighting from the back, and so far he's living up to that. Springbok Gamer now having a look at Not Fernando. Not Fernando actually had a spin there because 80's also passed as well as Staffy. Not going well for the Not Sober boys tonight. Of course, same happened to in Russia last week. Oh, now because those tires are dirty, now it's a bit difficult to keep it together. Gonna have to clean those tires, but now he goes on grass, trying to clean those tires now and get it back up to temperature. Just watch out for cars approaching from behind now. He's actually going to go wide. Looks like he might actually allow the car to come through. Not going to fight him. Of course, Not Sober didn't had the best of starts last week in Russia either. And in the end it was the first and second place. It's not over until it's over, and in the meantime Nismax in front of Not Maverick. Nismax managed to overtook Not Maverick, so that's actually looking very good for Nismax. Now Not Maverick can play the role of keeping Not Sebastian behind, and of course Nismax pulling away in front. So as it is now, it's actually a bigger chunk of points that he can pull out of Not Sebastian's lead in the championship, of course. And of course, as I said in qualifying, Nesmax he starts for with Boinkies, so if it stays as it is now, he actually moves clear. And with Not Kimi retiring, that can actually be Nesmax moving into second place in the championship standings. DRS wide open again, but Not Maverick also got DRS, so it's not really making a difference. A couple of guys with medium sitting pretty, staying in range. Those guys on the soft obviously have to stop early, so this is when we're going to make waypoints, and Gaffpig now up to 5th. Chasing down Quinton, and we have also a set of mediums. Question is just how long can those guys in front make those soft tires last. Just want to see if we can perhaps get somebody in here, so just bear with me. Right, just trying to see if we can get him to join. That's if he joins and not play race engineer for his team. Gaffpig definitely on the move. He actually gaining on Quinton bit by bit. Just before, well, literally a few corners ago it was just over 6. Now it's just over 5.5. Maverick falling back a little bit to Nesmax. Not Sebastian, just keeping him honest. We would hope that that gap opens up a bit so he's out of DRS, so he can hopefully get DRS and make a move. Teammate battle Staffy and Springbok Game, and of course right in front of him is the other teammate Boinkies. But of course a bit of a distance between Boinkies and the two of them. Real ratio between these two. AD in a bit of a lonely 9th place at the moment. 8 seconds behind Steffi, 10 seconds behind the next, ahead of the next car. Steffi just not able to gain. They on the same tyres, same age. Both have done 8 laps on those mediums. Steffi just can't make a move on his teammate at the moment. Primo Gamer just putting the car in all the right places at the right time. Steffi of course going a bit on the inside here, trying to just set his teammate off a bit. Going back in front. Not Maverick, just still keeping in DRS range. Now not Sebastian, fighting to stay in DRS range to him. Of course, as much as you want to race each other, you also want to save those tyres. Gap pick with a 133.1. And now 4.5 seconds behind Quinton. Not Maverick is out of DRS range and Not Sebastian's right on the back. So he will not have DRS come the next DRS zone. Just out just after Beckett and Beckett. Gaining. Just around this corner DRS zone. DRS will go open. There we go. Close to him, DRS will come into effect now. It takes on the inside, and this time round, Not Maverick can't do anything about it. Not Sebastian, he's passed. Must just keep it together in these corners and then try to pull away, and now he's going to chase after Nismax. You would not want his title rival championship rival to get too far ahead. Oh, and there goes Not Fernando. And that another VSC, so I'm surprised tonight. No full safety car here, just VSC. Not Sebastian, all of a sudden 2.5 seconds behind Nismax. Well, okay, make it 2 now. Of course, we guys do different bits of laps. Some of them will push to the last possible moment before they get that warning or risk a penalty. So we'll wait after this to see what real pace could return to. Just while we're at it, let's see if we can try another guy in here. Just before that VSC ends. There we go, back to racing. Not Sebastian did gain a little bit now again. Nismax, Not Maverick is staying in DRS range. A little bit of an error there from Not Sebastian, going a bit wide. Drive-through penalty, speeding under VSC for gap peak. That's not going to help. Big fight back, and now he's got a drive-through penalty. Unfortunately, not the first time that's happened. Somehow he's just battling to slow down under the yellow flag conditions, and as it is, the game is much more strict on under yellow flag conditions. Of course, a normal 3-second penalty that you get for a couple of corner cutting can actually result in an immediate 5 or even 10-second penalty. Not Sebastian just closing the gap still to Nismax, but in the process pulling Not Maverick with him. Quinton is also now actually in DRS range from Not Maverick. but he's got for softer tyres. And gap pick in the pits, probably serving that penalty. And Staffy did manage to get past his teammate, Staffy into 7th. Not Maverick just now battling to hold on to their DRS. Now slightly out of it. Not Sebastian getting closer and closer to Nesmax. He's pretty much in DRS range, but he's not going to get DRS this time round. He's going to have to keep doing what he's doing now so that he can have DRS on the next lap. And then probably in both zones. Just you can see how close Quinton is now to not Maverick. Not easy with those mediums, but the soft will start going off soon, if not already. Not Sebastian staying in DRS range with Nismax. Of course, these guys also been racing long enough together to know each other, what to expect and what to do different. DRS range just not much of a difference at this stage. Just too far back. Can he use these next couple of corners to gain and then make a move in the DRS range like he did with not Maverick a few laps ago? Staying there for now, he's staying close. Can he gain like he did on not Maverick through this next sequence of corners, Mickett and Beckett? Not as much. DRS will pop up open now. Just a bit too far back still. Nismax will arrive in the corner first. That gain now, it's just a matter of staying close to him. Same tyres, same amount of laps done, and Quinton now passed not Maverick. DRS paid off for him. Of course, this is all good for BPP. All three BPP cars for the night in the top 4. Not good for not Sebastian on his own. Oh, very close here. Fight. He's gonna have the outside line, but he might have the inside line in the next corner, and then his DRS open again. There we go. Gaining. This match goes to the inside to defend. Got Sebastian on the outside. This match will have the inside line. Staffy basically also tried to put Gafpeak under pressure. Gafpeak, luckily only from 5th to 6th, he only lost for 1 place by serving that drive-through penalty. So it was actually a good call to do it at the time he did. He didn't lose as many places as he might have lost if he stayed out a few laps before he served it. Here we go, DRS wide open again. Nismax dive to the outside. Not Sebastian following, trying to get DRS now. Nismax goes to the inside, forcing not Sebastian to the outside. Not Sebastian going to the outside again. We'll have the inside line into the final part. There we go, and this should be it. But no, Nismax actually got a good drive over that line. Still staying in front. But Sebastian just gearing down the extra gear in some of the corners. A bit of a wobble there, that's not going to help him, that's not going to put him close enough for DRS. Let's trying to use this to close up again. This bet is more the next DRS zone. Ooh, bit of contact there. That looks like no wing damage there. Sent Nismax sideways a bit, but he did allow him the space to recover. Didn't go for the overtake there. Of course, that's not the way you would want to do it. That's a nice thing about these guys racing long enough. If there's a slight mistake like that, they make it up immediately between each other. And also it adds back to us enjoying this, because this is what we want to see. Good competitive racing all around. Already 15 laps in, and this is what we've seen from lap 1. Again, just too far back. He's not going to make a real move on this max. But can he do the same as he did on the last lap at the end, and maybe work his way through in a few corners? But of course there's also time penalties to take into account. Those will come into effect at the end of the race. And of course once those played out, then we know who's going to be our race winner and who ends where. Staffy not able to hang on to Gafpeak. Gafpeak now pulled away. The gap is now 2 seconds. So the other gap is Devon and EH Boucher. I'm talking about close possible gaps elsewhere on track where the battles are. But meantime here Quinton also staying in range. Of course if these two trip over each other, he's going to be the big winner. Gafpeak with another fastest lap of 1:32.9. Approaching traffic. Last thing you want when you come up, when you have a battle like that. Oh, not Sebastian right on this max. And that car which looks like Chen Yao. Chen will have to just pull over, and he does so. They can go on the inside, and Chen actually crucially gave Nismax DRS, so Nismax can actually use that DRS to fend off not Sebastian. Nismax will thank Chen for that after the race. Rocked up at the right time. Of course Quinton smiling all the way because the gap is not big and he can actually go a few laps longer. Because he's got medium tyres. Oh, spinning in the pit lane penalty for EH Boucher, 5 seconds. Okay, approaching the DRS zone again. What cannot Sebastian do this time? Staying with Nismax. Of course Nismax go to the inside trying to just break that slipstream. Sebastian would like to get past here so eagerly. Here in a nice BPP sandwich. I think you would like that. I'd rather have clear air. Again getting closer, and then Mekic and Beckett. Then just loses a little bit. Oh, no mistake there. He couldn't turn into the corner, and that actually sees Quinton go through. Oh, not Sebastian has left the session. That explains why that car just went straight instead of turning. Let's hope he can actually come back and reclaim that vehicle. And get some points still. Because there's still a good amount of laps left. So let's hope he can actually come back. So a good night for BPP, both of them back in first and second. Not Maverick has stopped, he's on the medium, so he's going to chase Gafpeak. So not Maverick can actually also gain some good points here once these guys stop. Okay, Mr. RZDV obviously smiling from ear to ear right now. Not sure, of course, with ghosting off, you can't really see if the player reclaimed the car or not. But of course, you can also see the gap between him and Quinton increasing, so it means that is definitely AI. Oh, it's about to have another 5-second penalty. Gav Peak gaining on Boinkies. Of course, there's 4th place with not Sebastian not there at the moment. But of course, why would he want 5th if he can get, or 4th if he can get 3rd? But not Maverick right on his end. Not Maverick gonna make not gonna make it easy for him. Make it a Beckett. Then there's gonna be DRH, of course, for not Maverick. Guy also led a couple of laps early on. Definitely he's going to have to go on the outside. Oh, and there was a bit of a bang. Got the back end because just trying to see. Not Maverick actually did go through. He's past Gav Peak. Not Maverick up into 5th. He's definitely, and he's also on the, obviously on the fresher rubber. Looking good for him. There's a couple of more seconds to make up. And he can be right up to his teammates. Oh, and we got safety car. This is going to back them all up. We're all going to be backed up. Looks like Carter Boy retired. He triggered the safety car. Of course, these guys will just go through. Line up behind the safety car. Oh, speeding on the safety car. These guys keep getting caught out with that. Week after week. Because like I said, that will bunch up everybody. Not Maverick already stopped, he's on fresh rubber. If these guys in front of him stop, he can actually gain positions here. Because it just depends if they make it to the pit and how quick they can get out again. But of course those guys in front will definitely stop. Quinton did manage to get past Nismax. Nismax is on the verge of stopping. Not sure if Quinton is going to stop or stay out with those mediums because there's still a couple of laps left. So definitely looking good for the BPP boys. Well set. Here we go, not Maverick up in 3rd place. Behind Nismax who stopped, and Quinton did stop as well. So all 3 BPP boys, 1, 2, 3. How do you like that now, Mr. RZDV? Gav Peak up into 4th. Well, nice recovery drive, but he's still on those mediums, so he's going to have to stop. So is his teammate. But Sebastian has stopped as well. So once these two in front of him pit, he's going to be promoted back into 4th. But the question is just how long. Because he would not want those BPP boys to get away from him too far. But that's of course if not Sebastian reclaimed the car on the other end. If it's not still AI. Just want to see something, just one moment. Looks like not Sebastian is definitely still online. So he might have regained his car, but we'll see how this unfolds. Of course, we can judge on the speed. And Gav Peak has gone into the pits. Surprised he left it was late and not jumped in on, immediately when the safety car came out. Boinky's also been in the mix, he's now up to 6. Got Staffy's teammate were right behind him, because they got the softs now. Of course the softs will be much faster on the restart, so can they make use of it and use it to their best advantage. Yara Rob. Chen's still in there. Like I said, his first race, he's still going. Of course it will pick up. It's not something that you just learn in the first race. It comes with race after race, doing a number of laps. Of course 12th place still means points. Just out of sequence, he's there with the front runners. Of course they lapped him. One thing about the safety car, it doesn't allow the lap cars to unlap themselves like it happens in real life, so that's also work that can be done. Ooh, 80 now with a time penalty. Only 3 seconds luckily, because on the yellow flag it's just so much harsher. Could have been easily a 5 or a 10. Probably one more lap before the safety car comes in. Yep, so it will definitely be one more lap. Ooh, Devon now with another penalty. Speed, that pit lane speed limit line just catching a few guys out, coming in too fast. I think not Sebastian is just had too much of tractor racing. He's not used to F1 car anymore. Of course, anything can still happen. 30 laps to go after this, so more than half distance. Anything can happen. Fatigue, of course, sets in. A couple of guys lack. Just the smallest of laps of concentration can actually take you out of a race. That's where these guys at the back can gain positions. As I said already, all of them as he score points. There we go, finally safety car coming in. Quentin will just back them up, ready for the safety car to come in. Of course, as I said earlier, something that he said as well earlier to me today, he's hoping for a couple of good finishes. If he can just be on the podium, that brings him closer to the guys in front of him in the overall standings. And as it is now, that will definitely be that. Of course, 5 points difference between first and second place, so he can gain 5 points on this max and in the process also gain some good points on not Sebastian. That's of course if things stay as it is now and if the race were to end so things as is. Right, and we are off again. This Max on the harder tyre will do his utmost best to keep up with his teammate. Of course also knowing those soft tyres will only give him that extra grip for so long before they start going off again. Not Maverick just need to get past Chen so he can then also be part of that fight in front. Chen will just try to get out of his way as soon as he can. Here we go. Moves onto the inside. Not Maverick with a racing line. Of course we got fourth place there, but he still has to stop. We got another yellow flag, not what you want to see after safety car resume. Oh, Chen now 3 second time penalty. Corner cutting probably, but that's as he's trying to get out of the way. That's again that is why these lap cars should be able to unlap themselves on the safety car. You don't want to get in the way of these guys in front. Not Sebastian now. Staying in the guy in front, so it looks like he did get his car back. Of course no DRS as yet. Two laps behind, of course after the safety car went in then only. Just like at the start of the race. Of course Quentin fastest lap, he is the guy in front. He's on that newest soft. Maverick just battling to stay in touch with his teammates in front at the moment. Yeah, I agree, Rob. It's going to be a good finish. It's shaping up for a good finish. Oh, not Sebastian now very close to Foss, but of course no DRS as yet, so that extra oomph what he needed in DRS is not there at this stage. He's going to stay on the inside. Oh, and Foss runs wide, that allows not Sebastian or not. But Foss came back actually very sharply and not Sebastian had to take evasive action. But Sebastian coming, gaining. Is he going to outbrake him? Yes he is, but oh, now Foss actually runs, okay, now a bit of contact. But Sebastian surely has passed this time, and he's got the DRS, so that can also help him pull away. But he also got the much better tyres. But now obviously using those softs to his advantage in front, gap of 2.5 seconds to his teammate. Maverick 1.8 seconds behind Nismax. Of course Quinton wants to pull out as much as he can. He's just going to take everything that he possibly can out of those softs, knowing he only last that long. Want to build as much of a gap so that he's covered for his next stop. Doing a stint on softs, of course. If he can push and then come in on mediums, he can actually finish the race on those mediums. 27 laps to go after this, and it's definitely possible to run those mediums to the end. Gafbeek and Boinkies fighting, and all actually very close here. Gafbeek and Boinkies trying to get past Force now. They have a much fresher rubber, and they both have soft fresh rubber, so definitely the faster tyre and newer tyre. But all of them have DRS, of course in DRS range of Not Sebastian. Not Sebastian under 2 seconds now. Not Maverick actually falling back a bit to Nismax, who's still falling back to Quinton. Couple of guys here within a second. Gafbeek is going to try to have a go here. Fights it to the inside, and he actually does get past Boinkies. Surely his teammate will have to let him go through because he's in a much better strategy. Well, he's definitely better off with the tyres he's got. So for the sake of a team, there's no point in holding each other up here. Gafbeek definitely gaining in DRS. Can he gain even more? So by the time he's got DRS, he can be right on the back of his teammate. While he's doing that, going, he's going to have a look actually into Mekkerbekers before DRS. And then actually he might give his teammate the DRS this time to help him pull away from Boinkies. Yep, that's what happened. Team strategy is playing. Yeah, that's a good example of team strategy. Not Sebastian gaining on Not Maverick. Still 2 seconds between Not Maverick and Nismax. Gap in front 3.7. Not growing as fast or as rapidly as it did a few laps ago. Almost stagnant where it is now. So maybe Quinton had the best of those softs. Now he's just obviously hanging on there. Too early to stop. Devin close to 80. Because 80's got the soft tyres, but it's already 17 laps old. He's due a pit stop, probably overdue a pit stop. And Devon went a little bit deep in there, but he also got a end plate missing, front wing damage indeed. Ooh, Devon runs wide, but a guy behind him, Chen, is actually lapped, so it will just allow him to unlap himself. No position change, so the real fight here is pretty much Devon and 80. Chen now passed Devon, unlapped himself there. Springbok Gamer 21 seconds behind Devon. And 80 comes in, but tyres had its... Oh, and 80 just a little bit too hasty. Couldn't slow it down enough. Another time penalty there for speeding in the pit lane. Now Gafbeek trying to put Not Sebastian under pressure. He's right there gap in front actually opened up with a second. Now I'm not sure if Nismax made a mistake, but then again between him and Not Maverick, he actually opened up the gap, so that says no. So Quinton managed to pull a further second out of Nismax. Well, Not Maverick pulled away a little bit. Not Sebastian now within DRS of Not Maverick. So that will help him counter because the Peak has got DRS now as well. Peak using those soft tires to his advantage. Oh, and 3-second time penalties. As I said it earlier, those penalties is going to play a part in the outcome. As these guys drive over the finish line, that's when those penalties come into play and when you will see the real finishing positions. Not Sebastian right with Not Maverick now. Gapik also there, so 3, 4 and 5 in close battle with each other. DRS again. Peak's got DRS, Not Sebastian's got DRS, but not gaining on Not Maverick. Because these guys had some good battles. It's been a couple of seasons that they've been racing together, so hell no. Don't be hasty, just wait for the right moment. Sebastian just a little too far back. Can he get through again through his last section of his corners? DRS will open up. There we go, DRS is now open. He did get closer to Not Maverick. Can DRS now pay off here? Can he make a difference? But Sebastian's going to dive onto the inside. Not Maverick is going to fight on the outside. Oh, that's Not Sebastian wanted to come over to defend that inside. But Not Maverick was clever enough to make it move and put his car there. So they had to fight until the chicane, and now Not Sebastian's in front. But Not Maverick had a good drive from the corner, but not the best of places to attempt a pass. But this time around Not Maverick will have a DRS. He's right there with Not Sebastian, and he's actually going to take the inside. But Not Sebastian not letting him go, still fighting on the outside. And DRS now for Not Maverick, he's going to have to go to the outside. Not Sebastian fighting the inside, on the inside line. Oh, swapping places now. Maybe while these two are fighting, the guys in front getting away further, more and more. Not Maverick not giving up, just leaving each other just enough space. Surely this time around. Oh, Gapik retires. Gapik's out. VSC. Now we're going to have to slow down this. Actually also null and void for DRS. Not Maverick was right on the back of Not Sebastian. Pressured him. He would have had DRS there. Wanted to make a move. But Gapik out. Only one Flacco boy remaining. One not sober remaining. 3 BBPs are still there, and there's still 3 Oceans free. Devon finds himself in 8th place now. One good thing about just keeping in there, try to stay out of mischief, don't give up if things happen. Got the 9 to the pits, those softs are done. That puts Nismax into first. Of course he can still go a couple of laps on these mediums and then have a stint to softs at the end. DRS enabled again, we're back to racing speed. Quentin looks like went for another set of softs. 20 laps to go. He will have to stop again because only not that many laps to be done on the softs. Unless he's really planning to do a long stint pushing them till they no longer can. But that's going to cost him some time towards the end of its life. Well, Rob's actually a couple of good battles tonight. Always nice when it's so competitive. But also nice to see these guys keep it clean and they leave each other the space. Some good sportsmanship. Right in front of the battle there, not Maverick and not Sebastian, still going strong. Not Sebastian did gain some time on Nismax, but in the process he's actually pulling Not Maverick with, not giving up. Not Maverick is going to go on the inside, but Not Sebastian is still there. He's now taking the inside. These two are now trading places left, right and centre. Not Maverick still gaining here, but of course not a very good corner to try to attempt an overtake. Not Sebastian defending on the inside. Again takes a wider line in there. But again, Not Maverick will be the one with DRS. Just as the gap in front actually opened up again to over 6 seconds again. Not Maverick, just not able to gain, same as what we saw earlier on with Not Sebastian. Not real difference being made in that DRS zone. Where the passes are really made is in the second DRS zone, especially if you have the good drive in and out of Meckett and Beckett. Okay, Not Maverick a little bit back. It's going to take some extra doing to gain here with DRS. Oh, and the back end wanting to step out, nicely brought under control. Would have cost him a bit, so that actually sees Not Sebastian being let off a bit. And on the back here, of course they tried to take advantage, but of course tyres, that's 30 laps old already. 18 laps to go after this one. We just started lap 34. Staffy just keeping in touch here with his teammates. Other teammates, Primo Gamer now up to 9th. Staffy just outside DRS, and as I say that he breaks into DRS. They both have done the same amount of laps on their tyres. Of course they will have to pit soon, which will promote Quinton provisionally to 5th. AD on mediums, that should be enough for him, no need to stop again. Provided everything goes well and no need for a wing change. Springbok Gamer chasing down Devon. Because Devon about a pit stop behind Quinton. So Quinton can actually easily make a stop and still come back in 8th place. Staffy passed Boinkies. If there was a mistake or he let him pass, but Staffy actually up to 5th place. Not Sebastian now actually open up a bit of a gap to Not Maverick. 1.3, so Not Maverick not in DRS anymore. Quinton goes fast as a 1:31.1. But also importantly, Not Sebastian has taken out a few tenths there from Nismax. Because again, those two did the same amount of laps on those tyres. Not Maverick actually 3 laps older mediums. Of course, Eddie just want to keep on to that 10th place. 56 seconds ahead of Chen. Boinky's still staying there with his teammate, not letting him get away. For slightest mistakes and Boinky's will be back into 5th place. Wonder who's going to stop first. We have a yellow flag and that is 80. Looks like he did manage to avoid barriers there, but there is wing damage. So that stop, no need to stop again, unfortunately is out the window. He's going to have to stop for a new wing. Staffy into the pits. Oh, not Maverick with another time penalty. Not Maverick will have to push now. He's now 2 seconds behind. Not Sebastian want to close that gap. He did do so. It's just over 5 where it was over 6 not too long ago. So it's definitely moving in the right direction. Gap coming down. But both on the same tyres, same amount of laps done. I'm sure they will be able to push it, and they want to push it to the end. We see there that 33 laps was already done on medium, so it's possible if they want to. Just 16 more laps to go after this. Ooh, and 80 just a bit too hasty into the pits. Another 5-second time penalty, speeding in the pit lane. Quinton chasing after the pack in front. He is on the soft, so you want to make use of it. Chances of him having to stop again it's very possible. But then again, as you can see, Springbok Gamer 18 laps on his soft. Of course, 15 laps after this, and if you look at the 5, that would be 20. So it's going to be touch and go. Sebastian got the gap down to 4.6 seconds now. Gap opened up a bit in front again. Just as he comes down a bit, then Manismax managed to open it up a bit again. Yeah, Robs, did you say so? I'm not sure if it's the best option, but at the moment it doesn't look like that car's too slow. I think the pick and kick his own back end. A 130.7 for Quinton. They're saying everybody is still pushing hard on those softs. I think we might see force pitting soon, and it's going to be soft. 14 laps to go after this, and that's far less by what some of those guys did. Springbok Gamer now 20 laps on those softs. That will give Quinton obviously high hopes, because already done 6, and if you look at 14, that brings him to 20. So he would like to see that, so he can actually potentially finish the race on those softs. Here we go, we finally got some company.
Hello, hello.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. You took your time, but rather late than never.
Yeah, no, I had to, the not doing that well. I had to
Hey,
adjust a
what a
little
night.
bit.
Very bad night for you guys. But at least you still got somebody there, second at the moment.
Oh yes, catching,
A bit of
which
a
is,
disconnect where, coming through, what's it, Mac and Beckett. All of a sudden, car just goes straight, and not too long after that, not Sebastian left his session. Just good to see he
yeah,
managed to get back and reclaim his car.
yeah. No, actually, he fell off the track because he lost this connection, and then obviously he lost
Yeah,
20 seconds.
yeah,
Thankfully,
having
the
to,
safety car came out. If it
and he
wasn't for
actually
the safety
rejoined.
car, and he rejoined, so it gave him a second chance
You
or
know, I
bite of the
thought
cherry.
because I was actually riding on board with him there, and you just see the car where it was like no attempt to turn, and then just as he went into the gravel, not Sebastian's left the session. So
No.
always not a good thing to see because you, especially if it's so close, the battles that you have, and I mean he was wheel to wheel with not
Oh,
Maverick, you know.
some superb. That's why I didn't join soon. I wanted to, but
So
to
those guys.
give you a little bit somebody to chat to in the com box. But the battles was raging. It was
But of
fantastic.
course, you and not Maverick as well. Of course, a good couple of years racing together between you two,
I,
so you know each other's
how's,
moves.
how is this man not league racing for a good period of time, a few months, jumps in the car and gives us a hard time? That's fantastic.
Says the one who actually used to do it. Because that's actually
No,
both of you. You guys can actually miss a good couple of races and one night just rock up and bang. You set the freaking track timers alight and give the
no.
guys a
Look,
hard time.
if you enjoy the moment while you're racing, then everything falls into place, and that's the
And
main thing.
that's key. That's key, and I'm so glad you mentioned it, especially to those people out there watching and thinking about this. That's the key thing. It's about enjoyment. If you enjoy, if you're happy, everything else just comes naturally. It's,
Yeah.
these guys are so competitive, but actually gets upset, who rage quit, who actually want to have a go at each other. It's actually they who does not work out for.
Yeah, when you get too intense or too caught up in the moment, and you lose the reason why I do it in the first place, then yeah, things will tend to go
Okay.
sideways more often than not. So,
And
but it's good to, like you say, not Maverick. Good example. Jumps in a car, opens a castle, enjoys
and
himself, and he's proper quick.
he's just falling off a bit there from not Sebastian, but not Sebastian not really gaining on this max. That gap is a bit stagnant,
Yeah, he
and
was
all
catching.
three.
He was at a point he was 7 seconds behind. He caught
That's it.
well,
No,
but
he
now
definitely bring the gap down. It's just at the moment he's not going anywhere. But as I say, that he did come down again a bit. Of course, I see four stopped. Finally, gave up on those mediums, and the three front runners are actually on mediums at the moment, and doing good
yeah,
pace on those mediums.
I think they'll be aiming to go to the end on these tires. Yeah,
Well, 11 laps to go will take it to 32 for the front runners and 35. Well, Force that did show it's possible.
yeah. No,
And
I
even
reckon in the
with
tire
Quinton,
life,
it's possible
he's
that Quinton can take his softs to the end as well. But of course, Foss is now on the better tires softs and it's new softs. So he's going to chase these guys down.
yeah, definitely.
Quinton now on the back of not Maverick.
Two teammates. Let's
Of course,
see.
the fresher rubber and of course the softer rubber. This makes in essence have a 9-second gap to these two guys.
I know penalties will also play a part.
Yes.
Yeah, get a little bit of track, but not much. But some of the guys have got quite a few. So yeah,
I
another
definitely,
surprise at the end of the race.
I did mention that, especially after last week's race. And Quinton did overtake not Maverick this time. DRS helped. Not Maverick
Yeah,
coming in.
definitely.
He had enough of those mediums. He's going to go for, obviously, it can only be softs. With 10 laps to go here after this lap or now, it can only be
Yeah,
softs.
well,
And that's going to be the faster tyre, and of course he's going to be on newer tyres, and I see Springbok Gamer also did the same. So
especially with low fuel.
Definitely, this is the right tyre to be on here, and it does go on soft. So he's going to be somebody to watch out. He's going to set those timing sheets alight. Of course, that's also to counter off the guy in 5th place, Voss.
Let's see how quickly Quinton catches up to the front two, and that will tell you.
Not Maverick coming out now. He's behind Voss, but he's ahead of Staffy still. He will now chase after them. Voss not that far ahead, but still another 26 seconds behind Quinton, who's also on soft. Not Sebastian did manage to bring the gap down. Now just hovering above 4 seconds.
Staffy doing well.
Staffy having one of his good races tonight. Actually, he's flying the flag for the Oceans Free. At the moment, they're all running together, 6, 7, and 8. Well, if I say together, position-wise, because timing-wise, Springbok Game is sometime off. And where Boinkies was in front not too long ago, Boinkies finds himself now 7 seconds behind Staffy.
Yeah. So, yeah, and we all know Boinkies quick driver.
Yeah, he is.
So for him to be in front of Boinkies, that's well done. Well done.
I think this is one of Staffy's tracks, of course. It's just that, of course, the guys in front, all 5 of them are very racy. So for him to gain any more positions, you would hope one of them make a mistake. And it's possible. It does happen.
Yeah, definitely.
Surprisingly,
another shout out I want to mention is Chen.
Yeah,
this is
first
he
race.
Downloaded the game fresh, day 1 on the game, running P11.
This is his first competitive race, first online race.
There's names at the bottom there, including myself, Gavin. You know, he's doing well.
And he actually is doing 100% race. That's not in everybody's plans. I mean, it's not like he had a 50% or something to come into it first. He just were thrown into the deep end into 100% race, and yeah, here he is.
Just a little bit of inside information just before I left the party chat. He was raving because he set his quickest lap on 17 lap old softs, and he couldn't understand. And I said, it's just you getting used to the game.
That's it, exactly. Because the more laps he's going to do, the better it's going to get. He's going to feel the hang of it. And actually, he did actually bring the gap down to AD. He's only 10 seconds behind AD, when he can have 10th place.
I can tell you we've got a race on our hands.
Oh, yes.
Sebastian catching 3.9. He's rolling in his max.
If it ends like
catching,
now,
but not as quickly as I
not
thought
as
he
far
would.
as exactly same here, because I would have thought he's going to do more, because he's got the softer and newer tires. But funny enough, he's not only gaining a bit by bit. So with that pace, he's not going to gain enough to make any moves. And there we go, not Maverick, a 130.06, making those soft tires work for him.
Yeah.
But Voss also not managing to gain much on Quinton. And his tires are 7 laps newer.
We're entering the phase where a lot can happen. And I think with 24 lap old mediums pushing hard, trying to catch, one mistake is all it takes.
You can have a soft guy at the back, but also those softs of Quinton will be worn.
Yeah, they think that a little bit of practice I did before the race. You know, from lap 15 onwards, those softs do not want to do the things you wanted to do. They get very spongy and the back gets loose. So, well, let's see. But while I'm here and enjoying this race, Johan, big up to you as well in the combox, flying the flag, enjoying your commentary as always. Champion, Booty, champion.
Also got a couple of guys out there actually also showed their support, and that's actually why I'm doing this. At least I know some people watch and they actually enjoyed, so it's not falling on deaf ears.
No, definitely not. You're one of the better commentators around.
It's just tough sometimes
Knowledgeable.
doing it alone, but that's why it's so nice having those viewers and the comments that we post there. Although it's more
Oh,
Rob spamming me there with comments, but I do appreciate the comments. It just keeps the chat alive. Because yeah, it can be lonesome on 100% race if you're on your own. Oh, and Springbok game over another 3-second time penalty. But Devon also having a good race. He's 45 laps and he's still there.
yeah, no, well, that's how my story ended in this race. He ran a bit
Yeah, so,
wide,
yeah.
dodging 80, and he went on the grass, and he got a tank slapper, came across the track, and I had nowhere to go. But you know,
And we actually got that on
it'd
the
be a
stream.
racing incident, but
And
I
he
had
got
such a
a
chuckle with him.
penalty for that.
But he's still there, and he's in the points, and it's fantastic to see. Fantastic.
And Chen now only
And
7 seconds behind 80. And funny enough, for the new guy, you haven't seen a lot of penalties going towards Chen. Yeah, there was a few, but not as many as you've seen going to some of the other guys.
no, definitely, he's getting to grips with the game. And I told him before we even started the race, I said, two things are going to happen in a 100% race. You're going to get used to the car, and you're going to drive maggots and beckets in your sleep tonight. And he said, like I said, his fastest lap on old tires, deep into the race. When you catch a rhythm, or you get into the rhythm of a game like
Thanks,
this,
Robs.
we'll just go quicker.
But yeah,
So,
Chen
what?
definitely.
Give
Wow,
him
good
another
debut.
2-3 races, your points.
And of
Points
course, if
will
we look
be.
at Project Cars, he's definitely up there. Oh, and Quinton now with a penalty just to make things more interesting in front. And Nismax actually kept it clean so far. It's high time for Nismax to have a win again. Quinton was obviously hoping
Oh
for the win.
yes, oh yes. No,
Because as
this
it is
makes.
now, Nismax will take 5 points out of not Sebastian.
And I've got the
And he will
like.
actually pull clear of Boinkies where we are joined at the moment. So that also means Nismax will leapfrog you in the standing, so he'll move into second place.
No, it's good. You know, I've got the fortune of knowing this Max quite a long time, just like you. And just as I exited the race, I helped Mina a little bit, jeffing him a bit. And when I saw Nizmax attacking Maverick,
Ooh, and
getting
Quinton
past,
now getting
I
closer and
knew
closer to not
he's
Sebastian. This is
hunting
not
for that
over.
race win.
Wally still have life in those softs that you want to put not Sebastian under pressure. Of course, not Sebastian still gaining bit by bit on Nismax, but not much. Nismax just managing that
Yeah,
gap.
it's quite slow. This is CER is. Well, Quinton's got 60%. Sebastian's got 22. Nismax 17. So the front two pushing.
They have
And
to, because
Quinton,
third place man on softs, 15 lap old softs, he's coming for him.
I think Quinton is timing this to perfection, if you're asking me.
You want to push, but not too hard, because you still want life in those tires when you catch up with him. Now actually
Exactly.
getting into the DRS range to not Sebastian. And then obviously he's going to have a go at his teammate, because knowing his teammate also got 28 lap old mediums.
What a race.
Chen hovering there at the 8-second mark to 80. Oh, yellow flag.
I'm trying to see on the mini map who that would be.
But no, nobody spun or anything. I couldn't see on the
Yeah.
mini map.
Maybe somebody just going a little bit slow.
Slow, yeah. But it was also not there for a long time. Funny enough, just one safety car. A lot of VSCs tonight.
Yeah, quite surprising.
And
I
VSC
thought,
for some scenarios that you would have seen safety cars. So it almost looks like it depends from track to track. Because certain tracks, take for argument's sake our first race, we're in Belgium. Within 10 laps we already had 3 safety cars.
look, this game can be like a hard woman. You never know what she's gonna be like at a given night.
Yeah, true that. You have to wait for the night to see what arrives.
Quentin gaining, he's in the DRS.
DRS, yes, here we go. In DRS wide open. Not Sebastian, is he going to go on the inside? Not Sebastian defending the outside line. Oh, and he's actually, it looks like there was a mistake here from Nismax because the gap is now actually less than 2.5.
Ooh.
And there is traffic. Ooh.
Yeah, but these guys' tires are crying for mercy.
But traffic is going to help the guys in front because that's going to allow DRS to Nismax. Of course, no, not Sebastian is not in the DRS yet. But looks like, actually Nismax is past the pink car, so the second pink car is actually the lap car. Nismax is past. Because that car will still see blue flags as not Sebastian's approaching.
Yeah, definitely.
Just riding on board here with Quentin because this is where the real battle is at the moment.
Yeah, you can see mid corner grip he's got so much more.
But those softs should also start going off quite now. Yeah, no, we thought about it, but thought the better. Not the best place to try to make a move. This is where you want to make a move. You want to bring it as close as possible here and make it a Beckett. Then you'd get the DRS. Yeah, but you could so easily lose it in that same corner as well.
Exactly. You can see in the dirty air, it's hard to stay close to the car.
And of course, worn softs.
If Muna plays it quite smart, which we all know he's quite the clever boy, if he deploys his ERS at the right spots, it will be so hard to pass.
That's it. 2 laps to go after this, so approaching that final laps. Of course, we're there. Actually, now less than, well, yeah, pretty much less than 2.5, because we're already pretty much in the second sector coming up now.
All I can say, Johan, hold on for these boys going across the line.
Oh yes, like and I said, there's a lap car in there as well.
It's gonna be a lottery.
Which is Springbok Gamer. Springbok Gamer finding himself in a very peculiar place. It's on the back of Nismax, but he's got not Sebastian breathing down his backside. Not Sebastian gained
only 1.9 behind Nismax now.
Not Sebastian might actually have DRS now thanks to Springbok Gamer. That's going to help him fight off Quentin, or is it? Because here Springbok Gamer allowed both of them, and that might just be before the DRS detection.
Fantastic.
So that's not going to allow not Sebastian to have DRS. That will make Quentin obviously very happy, but he's not getting close enough. Just like not Sebastian earlier, the DRS is not helping. Gains only at the last moment, but then it's too late. Then you have to watch your braking spot not to run into the guy in front.
Sebastian trying to save ERS, I can see, and he's deploying it at spots. Defending. Fantastic battle.
Penultimate lap. No real battles elsewhere, so it's still here in front where the battle is, and that's what you want to see. 3 guys going for the win so late in the race. Ooh, back end almost stepping out there for Quentin. DRS again, but not Sebastian. He's just too far ahead this time. Gap now 1.5 seconds between not Sebastian and Nismax. Much as not Sebastian is holding off Quentin, he's actually gaining on Nismax. Might have a freeway DRS fight here on the last lap.
I can see by his ERS management, Nismax is pushing to the ultimate.
But I think Quentin might be better off penalty wise, but I did lose count, I might be wrong. But Nismax also kept it clean. 1.3 again. Quentin not close enough, not really gaining. Not Sebastian, just using the DRS as you said at the right time. let it all go.
Mm.
Final chicane, final corner, and then we start the final lap. There we go, and this is where Jeff says this is your final lap of the race.
Yeah, good old Jeff with his crayons. What a bastard.
Yeah. That's probably the person, the most spoken person on
Oh,
social. Oh, and
am I
Boinkies,
reading
Mr.
right?
Clean. Mr. Clean with a 3-second
Boinkies with a
penalty.
penalty. The world's gonna end. Muna within DRS. Quentin within
Yes, that
DRS.
is. As I said,
Ladies and
a
gentlemen,
three-way DRS fight coming up.
last lap of the race. Let's enjoy this.
Approaching, of course, this is for all start-finish straight.
Yep. Going into cops.
Quentin's going to try
Fast
to have a
left
look on the
hander.
inside, though. Is he going to think better of it? No, just too far back. We'll have DRS, not Sebastian is slightly out of DRS, so Nismax is safe. But Sebastian will have to fight off here because this is where Quinton's going to make or break it. They both run a bit wide, but he's close this time, much closer. Not
Yep.
Sebastian's going to stay on the inside. Quinton now with good slipstream as well.
Oh,
Not Sebastian manages to keep the inside.
fantastic defense. Fantastic.
And that he goes. That means Nismax is our race winner. Here we go,
Well,
coming around for final corner.
Let's see. Penalties.
Well done,
Nismax,
Nismax, not
P1.
Sebastian.
Oh,
Yeah,
Quentin
Quinton
takes
jumps. Quinton jumps, not Sebastian with penalties.
it. Hey.
Not by much, 1 second in the end. But yeah, not Sebastian just had that one penalty more compared to Quinton. That's pretty much the 1 second, because obviously 3-second penalty minus 2 gives you a 1. So there we go.
A little
Well
bit
done.
down the field force. Coming across the line, P4.
And then of course
Not
not
Maverick.
Maverick.
Fantastic race.
Solid fifth place. Last
From
lap,
our old
fastest
end.
lap for force. Staffy with a
P6.
well done 6, the best of the rest, if I could put it like that. Of course, the guys in
He's
front
gonna-
are the fast ones.
He's gonna rub it in his teammate's face, I'm sure.
Hell yes, Staffy beating Boinkies and Springbok Gamer. Devon brought it home, 100% race. Devon finished. 80 will be the next guy, they're just a little bit more back. 80 coming through the last DRS zone.
Well, if ID's got more than 8 seconds worth of penalties, I'll tell you
And
what,
he does
Chen is
have,
gonna
and
score
he
some
does
points.
have a few.
No, Chen might score his
No.
first point in his
He
first
actually,
ever
no, he
league
will
race.
score. No, he will score points because they do get points even outside the top 10. So let's see. Here comes Chen,
Let's follow Chen.
and he does
Yep.
jump.
I
10th place.
saw
10th
something
place.
jump.
10th place in his
There we
first
go.
race. 100% race. Well done, Chen.
Fantastic.
Well done, Steph. Brilliant race for a change.
And I have to say, Nismax showing what we haven't seen this season.
Yes, been
Yeah.
a while since we've seen that, but we all know what he is capable of.
Fantastic to see the old boy on the podium there.
To BPP, so they will be very happy with that. Of course, just confirmation just coming up. We're just waiting for our screens here to update. There we go. There we have it. Of course, 11 drivers finishing in the end. And Nismax taking the honours from his teammate Quinton, and of course not Sebastian. So there it's your podium, guys. Force came in 4th, followed by Not Maverick. Good night for BPP. Staffy, Boinky, Springbok Gamer. Right there, of course, for Oceans 3. Staffy bragging rights tonight over his teammates. Devon 9th and Chen 10th in his first race, and of course 80 bring it back in 11th. Fastest lap in the end went to Foss, right in the last lap. So what a race. So let's see if we can just get those 3 entertainers if you want, because they did give us an entertaining race. So let's just quickly get them in here. Of course, just have our post-race comments from them. Right, we're just waiting for them. I think those guys are celebrating so hard they don't want to join. We got third place guy in that size says it all. What a race. Battling from start to finish.
Yeah, but I see on the points, on the penalties, me and Quinton had the same amount of penalties, but he finished ahead of me.
Oh, that's actually weird.
Yeah, so, but I'll take it. I'll take that. I don't mind.
Because actually, if you look, because you're right, that's well mentioned, because both of you got 2 penalties, which is 6 seconds.
Yeah.
So, but somehow he ended up a second ahead of you. So, yeah, Codemasters says his best again.
Yeah, lovely.
No,
But still third place on the podium, so it's a good season for you, keeping on podium. So, yeah, and I mean, after not a good night for not so, but at least you got some points for the team and for yourself. Obviously, that keeps you ahead at the moment. And then I see our race winner actually came in as well. Of course, that takes him into a solid second place in the championships. Well done there, Nismax. What a race.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
But these guys didn't make it easy for you.
No, not at all. I had a great battle there at the start with Muna. And yeah, some safety car, the safety car giving me also a little bit of help, but and my teammates also not doing bad at all. So yeah, it was a really fun race for me.
And a very, very, very good night for PPP. Even your standing driver contributing very nicely, so that will open up the gap again for you guys.
Yes, no, that's for sure. We are fighting for the constructors. That's our main goal.
But glad to see the Nismax we all know back with a good race win.
No, just a quick comment. I saw it was lap about 6 or 7, and when Maverick was in front and Turkey was behind, I thought they would do formation flying, trying to pull away, and I saw Turkey overtake Maverick, attacking him brilliantly, clean move. I thought to myself, oh, Turkey is back.
Those
This
two.
man is he's here for the win tonight.
Funny you would say that, because those two, Maverick and Nismax, were like a pack of hounds on you at the start. Past your teammate in no time, and here they're coming for you.
That's what I saw, and I felt the pressure, and yeah, no, I folded a little bit. But you know, for me personally, racing with these guys a long time, to see Dirkie with that hunger back, it's brilliant. It's like it. Keep it up.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Quinton, good night there for you. Of course,
Yes.
battling. Of course, Rain in Q3. Was he just pulled it out at the right time with a blinder? You, unfortunately, not that lucky, but still, again, you used the mediums, had the perfect start, pushed it to the end, and actually made up good places by that strategy as it fell nicely into place. And right at the end, those soft tires, I was a bit concerned about it lasting, but yet you actually had good pace on those old soft tires.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, quali was just a mess up. I screwed up that lap, and just track got more wet, and obviously that opportunity went out the window. But race start was good. Stopped for my softs, obviously, the first set of softs, and then when the virtual safety car came out, I took a chance and did another stop, hoping that I would have enough time to catch everyone in front. And obviously I caught them, but my tires were finished. I was really fighting the car, trying to get past Muna there. And it was quite strange as well, because we had the same amount of penalties, but I ended up ahead of him. But the game wasn't right, because it told me that he's like half a second in front of me, but I don't have DRS, and his car is way ahead. And eventually I got very close to him, got DRS, and then obviously when we crossed the line I was still ahead, so I don't know what went wrong there. But yeah, it was a very lacquer race. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, the top 3 really
100% fighting all the time.
Yeah, sweating badly.
Of course, that second last stint of course, of Quinton, that's when he really started pushing a gap, and he had to, because he on the softs versus the mediums. So he had to get away, but in the end, of course, Nismax just played it very well, and he looked after his tires and just managed the gap at the right time. And yeah, in the end, even with that stint, Quinton pushing. Nismax just done enough to stay ahead.
Yeah, and I think if I didn't stop for my first set of softs at safety car, if I didn't do that, the guys on the softs behind me would have definitely overtaken me. So I was hoping to actually gain time by stopping the second time.
You basically became a pro now and starting the race with mediums, and then actually with a long stint gain positions, and then have a last fast stint. So you're now actually known for that, and yet again it played into your favor. Of course, as I also said earlier in the stream, it's all good and well, but if you have contact early on and you have to come in for an early pit stop, then that strategy is out with all.
Yeah, it's always a big risk, and I try to keep it clean. So I'll usually be a bit slower in the beginning because I'm also a bit more cautious, just to not get damage. But once everything settles down, then I can start pushing.
Not Sebastian, you
Sometimes
must
it works,
you must obviously be happy with what your team has achieved. I mean, front row lockout, so you definitely got the pace. It's just now somehow some of races it just doesn't go your way. Unfortunately, your teammate, but unlucky tonight, bit of contact there. But there must be some positive still to take out from this carry over to the next race.
No, of course. It's always a good day if you finish on the podium. Can never complain about that.
And of course, you flying the flag for not sober. Of course, also our championship leader. So no pressure. Now you just need your teammates to man up.
Yeah, no, definitely. So I have to say, you know, after the
3 race wins when you don't finish. What a way to break your streak.
No. Difficult start. Muna had a disconnect. Came back in.
Yeah.
And he was, well, the safety car helped him a lot, but still,
But yeah,
with all the problems to fight for the top positions and the defending and the driving we saw tonight. Well done, man. Champion drive.
and that not Fernando, sorry, not Sebastian disconnect. I was actually on board there with him, and it's just like he went straight. He wasn't planning to turn. He wasn't planning to turn. And as he went, onto the grass,
I actually climbed on the phone, video calling him, saying, "Get the hell back in the car."
And as he was on the grass, here comes not Sebastian disconnected. And that obviously what also allowed Quinton as well to be as racy in the end, because he ultimately there overtook not Sebastian, and that's pretty much where it started concluding. Of course, luckily not Sebastian reclaimed his car, and so we were privileged enough to see a freeway battle right in the end. I mean, last sector DRS almost.
Yeah, that was...
Dirk, of course, just pulled out enough time to just avoid DRS for Sebastian right at the end. But that's what you want. Good finish after 100% race.
Before we log out here, I've got one very important question.
Yes.
For a race winner, Dirkie. Het jy die rampies een kant gesit vanaand?
Ja, hy sit tussen my bene.
I think you can think about that side of what that means.
Ja, maar ek weet nie wat so ram het jy vanaand gedrink nie, maar drink het meer, want bliksembytjie was vanaf vanaand.
Yes, Dirkie is back. Dirkie is back.
And that's what you want.
Was fun.
Just keeping that championship
going. Win is always close to my heart. So
going round 7, going into round 7 and still anybody's championship.
Ja.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Top 4, top 4, top 5 are still, it's anyone's.
No, that's good.
And now, of course, Nismax taking 5 points out of not Sebastian. So, first and second boys there. And of course, Quinton gaining now.
It's going to be a close one.
It's going to be a close one till the end. Of
It's
course, next week is Bahrain, off to the desert. Of course, close to home there for Nismax.
Nice. Yeah, he's probably going to go there during the week to practice now.
Met sy
On the
top
actual
gunners
track.
aan.
Yeah.
But gentlemen, thank you so much. Thank you for the comments.
Thank
well
you.
done to you all
Thanks for
once
the
again.
streaming, Jan.
Thanks,
And everybody out
The
there, thank
lekker
you so
race.
much. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for the support. Of course, Armand
boys.
and the boys, thank you guys. Thank you. We appreciate the support. Thanks for the comments, V. Rob, thank you for keeping me busy with your comments, spamming me, but thank you. So, till next week, all of you be safe. Take care. Of course,
Thank you.
of course, lots of racing you can do on the PS, seeing that you can't do anything else. But till next week, stay safe, stay out of mischief.
Okay.
Of course, next week, same time, same place. Cheerio.
Lekker.